Okay, so good afternoon, everyone.
Do you want to know? Well,
Okay, so for this video discussion, we are going to talk about the art elements. So why do we need to talk about or learn the art elements? So art elements are very important on determining and understanding the artworks that we are going to explore. So for your MAPE 9, we are going to explore art traditions of the arts. Okay, so your art elements that you had with you when you were in your grade A years. So we have here, art elements are considered as the building blocks of art. So this is the fundamentals on understanding the artworks. The first one we have here, lines. Okay, you have it here, lines. So lines, these things could be lines that shape the sides of the street, edges, jewelry, buildings, silhouettes of persons or shapes of persons themselves. A line can be thick or thin, straight, wavy, curved or angular, continuous or broken, dotted, dashed, or a combination of any of this. So artists uses lines to define shapes and spaces in their works. Okay, so you have it there, an example of a photo, of an image rather, of an artwork which has lines. So you have seen there, you have there a curved lines, you have also straight lines. So lines will also help the viewers or the artists to create an artwork using lines. So the next one, we have here shape and form. So shapes are defined by artists using lines and contrasts in color and texture. These shapes in objects can take on various forms like squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, oblongs, and figures like animals, plants, human figures, mountains, and other forms. So we have it here, the pyramid, an Egyptian pyramid wherein there is a shape of a triangle. So very explanatory. The third one, we have here the value or tone. So value, it refers to the use of light and dark within a piece of art. The contrast between the two can be used to create depth. This is shown in shading a portion of the drawing of an object to make it appear three-dimensional. So if you have seen or watched videos on sketching, you have noticed that this shading of a specific object will create a three-dimensional form, or we call that one as depth. So for example, in this painting, you have seen there that in this part, this is a darkened spots. While in here, we have here a lighter spots. So it only means that in this part here in this area, it means it is distant from the focus of the artwork. So our main subject in here are the people being shot by these soldiers. So if you're going to focus, if you are an artist and you're going to focus on a specific subject, you are going to focus the light on your main character. That is why in this part, we have a lighter one. Okay? Let's go on to the fourth art element. We have color. Okay, color is produced when artists use various pigments and dyes to create a range of different hues which the viewer's eyes and brain interpret as colors. So we have three basic colors. We have red, yellow, and blue. So the other colors are only derived from these three basic colors. Black is the combination of all the colors, and white is the absence of colors. So if you have noticed that most of this is an ancient painting or artwork in Egypt. So you might have noticed that they don't use much of the variation of colors. They only use the basic colors that they have. So you can have it there, an orange color, you have a black, and you have their white. So it means these are the basic colors that can be found within Egypt, within their area. So color also will create a mood or an atmosphere of an artwork. So for example, if you're going to use red color, it would mean something like bravery or anger. Blue, it could mean calmness or peace. And different other colors that would mean a specific character in your artwork. Okay, we have also this called type of artwork, which is expressionism. It means it focuses on the side of the artist. So the artist making an artwork, it would depend on him or her on what color to use and what are the meaning of these colors in his artwork. That is why we call this one as expressionism, or some of it we call this one as abstract artworks. The fifth one, we have texture. Okay, texture could be the simulated appearance of roughness or smoothness in visual arts, or the actual surface feel of a work of art or craft. In sculpture, texture results from the type of materials that are used. So let's go on the texture of the painting. So if you have observed, the painting this is a two-dimensional form. So there's no depth, only the view of it. So in determining the texture of an artwork in a painting, rather, our determinant of the texture is the volume of pigments in an artwork. For example, in a painting, there is a what they call this one, sand. There's a sand, and there are stones, and there is a smooth surface. So in that aspect, we could conclude the difference of the texture in an artwork. So of course, if that's a sand, so it's a sandy texture. If it's a stone, it's a rough texture. And if it's a smooth surface, so it's a smooth texture in a painting. However, that changes when we are going to understand, or we are going to view a sculpture. So sculpture, or any artwork in a sculpture, there are depths when you touch it. So literally, you're going to touch it, you can determine that its texture already. So for example, on this sculpture, or this is a building. So you have it there. When you're just going to view it, you can determine the different texture of this sculpture. So you have their roughy areas, you have your smooth, and somewhat like a deep area. Then you have your curvy, and you have their lines. Okay. The next one, we have here the space. Okay, what is space in artwork? Space, it refers to the physical space within objects and the area that separates them. The area occupied by objects is called the positive space. When we say objects, these are the subject in your painting. The area between the objects is often referred to as the negative space. So, I have it there emphasized that these yellow lines, this refers to the negative space. And the space being occupied by the characters is what we called positive space. As easy as that. Okay, let's go to the next art element. Okay, so those are the art elements, rather. I'm so sorry. We have only 6.
Do you want to know? Well,
Okay, so let's have the principles of art. So when we say principles, these are the rules and techniques that artists use to create works of art. They can also be used as basis in saying something about the works of art. Okay, we have the first one, the rhythm and movement. Okay, in art, it refers to the repetition of motif or elements of art like lines, shapes, colors, etc. at regular or irregular intervals. Okay, so these are the things that you have seen in an artwork which are used to highlight or to put an emphasis on an artwork. So for example, in this artwork, you have it there, the repetition. So this one in here, they have the repetition of the pattern on their board, on the border. On the center part naman, they have also this diamond-like shapes. So those are the highlights of this artwork. The second one, we have here balance. Okay, when we say balance in art, it refers to the idea of maintaining consistency of art elements in various areas in an artwork. Balance could be in the form of the following. Okay, we have the first one, classification of the balance. We have symmetrical balance. When same shapes, colors, and other art elements are evenly distributed on either side of either the vertical or horizontal midpoint of a piece. Okay, so we have here an example of a building. Wait. So this one, so they have same proportion or same sizes on either side of this building. So this is what we call symmetrical balance. So this one, they have the balance in horizontally orientation. So we have also different types of symmetrical. For example, in vertical way. For example, we have a circle at the top, and we have also another circle shape at the bottom. So that is still a symmetrical balance. In this case, they have the same sizes both side in horizontal. Okay, this one in here and this one. Forgot to use my cursor. The second classification of balance, we have asymmetrical balance. Asymmetrical balance, when different shapes or colors, when different shapes or colors and other art elements are evenly distributed on either side of either the vertical or horizontal midpoint of a piece. So we have it here. I encircle this one and this building. So we have this orientation of a building in a landscape form, and we have this one in a vertical form. So they are balanced because they are both buildings. However, they differ on the orientation. So this one is in a landscape and this one is in a portrait one or in a vertical one. So this is what we call a symmetrical balance. The third one, we have radial symmetry. When various art elements or shapes, lines, and colors branch off from a central point. So what is our central point in here? So this is a flag. So we have the central point here, our sun. So this is our central point, and the elements or the other shapes or lines which are concentrated on this one are on the side. So we have it here, the red lines, the red color, the blue one, we have here the dragon, we have here the fire. So they are all concentrated on a central point, which is the sun. So this is what we call radial symmetry. So another example of this one, if you have seen a footage of a typhoon, so this the movement of this one is what do you call this one, in a counterclockwise. So if you have observed that they have the central point or the focus of the typhoon at the center, so all other art elements, for example in an image, are concentrated on that center. Okay, the fifth one, we have the unity. Okay, so this is somewhat like confusing. So we will differentiate this one with the other principle. So it relates to the sense of oneness, wholeness, order in a work of art, combining similar colors, shapes, lines, textures, and patterns in an artwork. So unity, it means it creates a wholeness of a specific artwork. So for example, this one, we have here the character, the center, in the blue color. So the unity there is that the other elements are being combined to create the one idea. So this means that these things around its character are part of it. It means they are the contributors to the character of an artwork. So if you are a viewer, you will see this one as a one artwork. So the difference between the unity and opposite of the unity is that there are different spots of the character or the subject. So for example, we have here an apple on the other side, and on the other side we have a tree, we have a building. So if we are going to analyze an artwork like that, you cannot tell that it is full of an artwork. It's because they are represented with different aspects. Okay, that is unity. The sixth one, we have the variety. Variety, it is a principle of design concerned with diversity or contrast. Variety is achieved by using different shapes, lines, colors, and other elements of art. So in the rhythm, those are the patterns or the repetition of the elements. However, in the variety, this is not the combination or the diversity of the different shapes, lines, and colors to create a harmonious artwork. So for example, this building uses different shapes. So this is the Hagia Sophia of Turkey. So you have it there, different usage of colors, different lines, different shapes. So this creates a variety of elements, art elements. The next one, we have the proportion. Okay, proportion, it refers to the relationship of certain elements to the whole and to each other. So it means we can describe a certain element on the other side in relation to the other aspect of an artwork. So for example, we have here a tall building, this one. So what is its relationship on this center part of this building? So maybe this is something that would create a balance on both sides of this building. Maybe this two has purposes for example, for the bell. Like in the church, they have this tall building which is for the ringing of the bell. However, on this building, maybe this two has a significant purpose on the center part of this building. So the proportion there is that they are not created the same in volume, or they're not the same in color, or they're not the same in the purpose on the center part of this building. Okay, they're just only the branch of the center part. As for this side also, this has also a different purpose. For example, maybe this is a hall or something. But this is not referred to the purpose of the center part of this building. Okay, that is proportion. Okay, so those are the principles. So we have 6 art elements and we have 7 principles of arts. So if you have questions regarding on these elements and principles, you can ask that one on the comment section on this video or group chat, so that your questions will be addressed also to the rest. So I hope that you have learned something. Thank you and goodbye.
Do you want to know?